What's up, guys? It's Chris Ruediger here at the 615 House Podcast, where we get to interview a bunch of rising artists and creatives. And today it's very special because a friend of mine, who we've been trying to do this for months, Hunter Girl, is finally in the studio to talk about her career moving to Nashville, getting a big break on a TV show like American Idol, and then where that leads to now and how social media is impacting her career, but how it's still all about the song and the songwriting process that she goes through to put out music. So y'all check it out right now. Look at this. We're both here. You look great. We both showered today.
We did. No dry shampoo.
I know, right? No dry. It's great. But, seriously, I know a lot of Nashville musicians that I don't know if they're showering every day, to be honest.
Well, I love a good dry shampoo.
Right?
You have to.
What's your shampoo brand of choice?
Batiste. I don't even know how I'm saying it the correct way.
Okay.
Probably not that at all.
I've never heard of that before, but it sounds great.
Yeah, I try my best.
I love it. Look, here's the deal. We got a new podcast for you guys, 615 House Podcast. I'm super excited because I've gotten to see you a couple times around Nashville, but I feel like you and I have never gotten to just sit down and chat. You know what I mean? Like the last time I saw you was CMA Fest.
Yes.
And I gave you a hug and then you ran away.
I was like, I gotta
go. It's crazy. But this is the one and only Miss Hunter Girl, coming off American Idol, now a recording artist here in Nashville. You've been putting out a ton of music, and it's just watching your career over the past year has been incredible. But I know you've been in Nashville way longer. So I want to just get into the thick of it and talk about your story.
Yeah.
So first off, thanks for coming on.
No, thank you for having me. I'm excited because we've been trying to do this for a hot minute.
I know.
We've been playing phone tag so hard. I'm like, hello.
Right? It's great. Look, 12 voicemails and, 15 texts later, and here we are.
We made it.
That's good. So just where did you grow up? Were you Nashville born and raised?
Oh no. I grew up near Winchester, Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah. So about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Not too bad.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're more or less from the South. You're used to the Southern hospitality, mama's home cooking, all that stuff. Did you grow up was it country music in your house all the time? What made you get into music?
Well, nobody in my family's musical, which is
Really?
which is kind of funny. But I started singing whenever I was about 3 years old in my pa's church. He's a preacher. And so I'd sing all the time and drive everybody crazy. And so it kind of started there. And then, just writing songs when I was little, 8 or 9. I don't know what I wrote about. I don't know what I had to fuss about it. At 9 years old, I'm like, whoa, the crayons are not the right color.
Right. Hey, there's probably some hidden meaning in that somewhere. Do you remember the first title of a song you wrote?
Oh, gosh, I actually do. And it's very... It was Knight in Shining Armor. It was so beautiful.
Oh, man.
Such a ballad.
Look at that. What was it? That's amazing. What was it inspired by anything?
Oh my gosh. I think I had a crush on this boy whenever I was younger.
Sure.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Second grade English class.
Second grade English class.
The romance is real and Knight in Shining Armor. It comes out.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I can't wait to hear that on Spotify soon.
Oh my gosh. Never.
Oh, that's awesome. So you grow up, right? You're the only one in your family that's playing music. Were they supportive of this?
Yeah, which I'm super lucky that way. My family always supported me going after music. It's something I love to do.
Yeah.
My mom said whenever I was little, I'd just sing about everything, and I'd have a cup of orange juice and be like, I'm getting some orange juice, and just running around the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, they brought me to gigs when I was younger. I started playing when I was 14. So they would just take me everywhere and be like, here we go, because it's just what I wanted to do. And they believed in me, even though, it's just, I think so many people will tell you, nobody ever makes it in music. You shouldn't do this. And I heard that a lot whenever I was younger from other people. And my parents always were like, we believe in you. And if you think you can do it, we're behind you 100%.
That's cool. I feel like there's a lot of parents that maybe aren't super supportive of it because they also have never been in the industry, so they don't have that look of this is what it takes to really do it. Or also, if you're not a musician, you're not in Nashville, you don't realize how passionate we are as artists and songwriters behind this. It's one thing to just go to a concert, but to be writing your own music and playing on stage, that's the feeling that we all live for, Yeah. So it's really interesting. But I'm glad that your parents are cool with you doing music because it's led to an amazing past year. But you've been in Nashville for a lot longer. When did you move to Nashville?
I moved here whenever I was 18, so I guess about 6 years ago.
Okay.
Is when I came to Nashville for the first time.
What was your thought of Nashville when you first came?
Oh my gosh, I wanted to come to Nashville my whole life. And so right when I turned 18, I was like, bye guys, and moved up here. I started going to school at MTSU in Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
And so I was going to school full time, and then I started playing Broadway. Mm-hmm. And I was doing that 7 days a week, like 4 8-hour shifts, just like playing.
On top of school?
On top of school.
When did you sleep?
Never, because I had 8 a.m.s, and then I would go to like 2 or 3, and then I'd play 6 to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So I would just drive back to my dorm and then get up and then do it all over again and then write during that time too. So it was just crazy.
Yeah, so, I mean, you had to have been running on 3 cups of coffee a day.
Oh, no. I still run on like 10.
Really?
Yeah, I'm always on coffee.
That's incredible. So, and on Broadway, where were you playing? Anywhere in particular?
I first started like the Tootsie circuit with like Honky Tonk Central and Rippies. And then later on, you know, I moved to like the High Wire Productions one where they so I started that later on. But in the beginning, I was working all the time.
Yeah. Did you enjoy playing Broadway?
Yeah, I did. I think it was definitely a learning experience, you know, just like turning 18 and then coming down to Broadway, which is just crazy. And so you just learn to do everything. You kind of just get dropped off. It's like, figure it out. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And so just like learn it, because the sound would go out, learning how to be your own sound engineer, and the lights would go out, you know, so many things could happen. And it just learning as you go and learning how to talk to people and how to entertain. And so I think that's something that taught me a lot growing up, and I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. It's funny because, you know, I think the myth of like, oh, you're going to play Broadway and like some major record label executive is going to just like discover you and sign you. Like, yeah, that's maybe not the thing anymore. But I think one thing that people forget about is like playing on Broadway teaches you how to, you know, be a performer, how to deal with, like you're talking about, all these little things of like, you know, okay, the monitor goes out. Now I'm singing a song and I can't even hear myself. Like, these are real things that, you know, even if you have the best production team and crew, like, they're going to happen no matter what. That's part of the industry, right?
Yeah.
Like, things happen. And so I think like being able to be an entertainer, roll with the punches, like deal with the crazy bachelorette crowd that comes to Broadway, like in many ways it does train you to be, I think, more composed to then when you get your shot to actually be on the road with a bigger artist, you know?
Yeah. It definitely prepares you. I think that's what the cool part was. When it's like anything can happen, and it's how you deal with it determines how the situation goes. And I think Broadway definitely taught me that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you did that for a couple years, and then this little thing called American Idol happens.
Yeah.
So I want to know what inspired you to get on American Idol or audition.
So it's kind of a crazy story, but I'd auditioned whenever I was younger, like 16, 17, 18. Like about 3 times I auditioned, and then I came to Nashville and started working and everything. And so I was thinking about it this year, but my mom was like, "You should do it." And I was like, we just got out of the pandemic and everything, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And so I was playing probably about 10 minutes from the house. So I was trying to make rent, and it was like in a strip mall in Nashville, and I was lugging these 2 gigantic speakers, you know, getting paid $75 to be there. There's nobody ever there, and I was playing, and this girl comes up to me at the end, and she was like, "Hey, like, I used to be a producer on American Idol, and I think you should really audition this year." And I was like, oh my gosh, because the previous day I got an email about American Idol. It's like, you should audition this year. And I was like, okay, twice in 2 days.
Right.
I was like, I'm taking the sign, and I'm going to take the leap of faith and just do it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And it's just funny how one person can completely change your life. And, you know, sometimes they're sitting there in a bar 10 minutes from your house, and it's those moments where you're like, oh, like, I'm worn out. Like, I don't know if I should play today. And it's like the times that you show up and something amazing happens. And it's just crazy that somebody changed my life whenever I was playing a few hours.
Well, you're like, not only are you like, I don't know if I should show up and play, you're like, wait, I still have like an English class to get to at school. Like, you're dealing with a bunch. It's cool. I'm so happy that you did it. And you know, what was your experience like on the show?
It was incredible. You know, I never thought I'd be on TV in my entire life. And you know, whenever I auditioned in Nashville, it was so cool because just to watch my mom too. You know, I think that's been the coolest part of this experience is, you know, obviously everything that happened while I was on the show, but getting to share that with my family because, like, you know, like I told you, like, they supported me my entire life, believed in me. And for them just to get to see all this and get to experience this, like I'd never been to LA in my entire life. I'd never been there, and you know, getting to be there and see everything, and just the judges and how kind they all were too. It just been a wild year, and I don't think I've really sat down and, you know, unpacked everything, just because it's just been crazy.
Sure.
But
yeah. And so okay, so you go out on the show, right? You go to Hollywood, and then you do a bunch of live shows out there.
Yeah.
So how? And I gotta cut right to the chase here. How much, like, in all seriousness, how much flex? Like, are they the ones that are telling you what songs to sing? Are they the ones that are wearing, like, putting you in certain outfits? Like, how much creative say do you have versus these producers saying, like, go do this? You know?
Well, luckily, like, you know, like, because, you know, you read about it and you're like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it was really awesome getting to work with the team. Like, the team was super cool. Especially with, like, wardrobe and stuff, because, like, I don't know how to dress. Like, I really don't.
It's probably fun. Like,
yeah,
you're
it was
like,
so
whoa,
cool.
this is a cool
Somebody's
new
doing your
coat.
makeup and your hair, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't look like this. And it's funny, just getting to have that and learn about wardrobe and makeup and hair and all that. And then with song choices and stuff, like, it was really cool just to bounce ideas off everybody. And they're always like, yeah, we really believe in this. And it was really cool because I got to sing my first original song I sang on the show was Heartbreak Down. And we were preparing for, like, another round of songs and stuff. And I'd sent them in and everything. And she was, and I was like, hey, can you listen to one of my original songs? You know, just like talking to her.
Sure.
And she was like, yeah, for sure. And so she listened to it and she was like, would you want to play this on the show?
Right.
And I was like, yes, that would be awesome. You know, I didn't send it to her in the thoughts of, like, I'd get to do that at that point. But then she was like, no, we need to do this. Like, well, I love this. And they all rallied behind me. Were like, yeah, let's do your original song. And the band.
See, I think that's so cool because, again, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think of American Idol and The Voice and America's Got Talent as just being these, like, cover competition shows. And it's like, all right, who can sing Carrie Underwood or Miranda Lambert the best?
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, okay, well, there's a million people on Broadway that can do it, and then you're on TV. But the fact that they're being willing to say, oh, like, you can play your original song, let's see what Hunter Girl as an artist is. Like, that's cool because now you're getting the exposure and, like, this elevated boost in your career, right? By being seen by millions, but you're also playing your own music behind it, that's why we're doing this thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm happy they let you do that.
It was so cool just because, and I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to do this.
Right.
But yeah, like, they were so supportive of me being us being artists. I think they really wanted to develop us by the end of the show, like, to go off and chase it again. And so, yeah, I was lucky.
And another Nashville guy now, Noah, right?
Yeah.
Was on the show with you. So are you guys still close?
Yeah, he's one of my really, really good friends. And actually, Leah's moving here. And Dan and a few other people from the show.
That's cool.
But yeah, he's been doing really, really good. And we actually have some shows coming up together, so it'll be fun.
That's awesome. So when all this is happening, right, like, you're on TV. I'm sure people in your hometown are seeing you. Then there's people across the country that are seeing you. Like, how did you deal with, you know, sort of the roller coaster of emotions and, you know, all these followers that are coming to you? Like, how do you deal with that?
It was wild in the beginning, because I was so scared when my audition was going to air the first time, like the one in Nashville. Yeah, I was terrified. I was driving to my parents' house, and of course your family's like, woo, woo, this is going to be awesome. And then, you know, the internal dialogue of your head, and you're like, oh my gosh, people are not going to like me. This is going to be really bad.
Right.
Like, which actually inspired Redbird, the single that I had out, because I was driving back home and I was praying, and my mom was always like, you know, that's a sign that somebody's watching over you. And I was like, hey, let me know everything's going to be okay. And a redbird flew in front of my car, and it's just crazy because, like, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on TV. I don't know what's going to happen. And you go from 0 to 100 super fast.
Totally. Do you think, like, because I think in today's world, right, like with TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, like, there's an opportunity for you to post a video and tomorrow it'll have 5 million views and, like, you'll be viral. Like, does it scare you at all that, like, the industry is heading in this, like, direction where it's like, have a viral moment, it happens, and then it's like, what do I do next? Right? Like, is that exciting? Is that scary? Like, where do you stand?
It's exciting and scary, I think. I think it also depends on the person.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, if you post something, it's like, whoa, it's went out to all these people. It's like, wow, this is awesome. Like, people really love this song. And you think, oh, maybe somebody really needs that song. And then you can get from A to B way faster than, playing one show in one place and only getting that audience.
Right.
And then the flip side of it is, if you, like, whenever you're playing songs out, or like you have like the TikTok songs that come out, it's like you have this really high moment, and then maybe the next video doesn't do as well. And it's like your mental state, you're like, it's not because this is not a good song. Maybe it wasn't posted at the right time. Maybe it's this thing. So I think it's being mindful of, if something doesn't pop off, it doesn't mean it's a bad song.
Yeah.
And,
I wish more people thought of it like you. I know so many people that get so depressed.
Yeah.
Because they think they have the next hit song, and then they put it out online and it gets 2,000 views. And then somebody else next door, just because they had a corny video, has like 3 million views. But I just think we're in an interesting time, right? And one question I have for you too is TikTok helping or hurting music?
Oh, Chris, hit me with that stuff. Here we go.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Right?
It's also like a yes and no. It's like, the positive is so many people can hear your music now. And it's like also gives people the opportunity to be seen. It's like you could be like some kid in their basement in Iowa, and you've created a song, and you can post it and people might relate to it. It's like, I think it also gives people confidence. It's like we're not trapped in this one little space. I think TikTok was really special during the pandemic because everybody was we were all stuck in the house, and it gave people something to look at and something to do and follow people and support them. But on the other side of that, it's like, people worry about like the songwriting and how it affects like artists and songwriting and all different things. And so it's like kind of what you said. It's like, oh, I posted this song and it meant a lot to me, and it might be like the most incredible song ever. And then another song goes viral, and it's like, it's a good song. It might not be the best song ever. And it's like, is it still best song wins, or is it more focused on the video?
Well, that's my question. We're at a time now where the industry, it's always been about marketing, but it's also about the song, right? And I like to believe that good songs win.
Yeah.
But we're in a weird time right now where it's like, how much of the good songs are actually being heard versus how many songs that are just properly marketed that may still be of quality, just not the best of the best, are the ones that then become mainstream commercial songs.
Yeah.
It's like how many good songs do you think are lost every day?
Oh my gosh, there's so many good songs lost. Think about how many people write in Nashville every day. There's like, and people might be writing 1, 2, 3 songs a day, and then you just think of the United States in general, people writing all these songs, and think about how many good ones come out, how many special ones come out every day that are never heard.
It blows my mind. Are you open to cutting outside songs, or do you like to write all your songs?
I like a lot of every song that I've ever cut is something that I've written before.
Yeah.
But I think that I am open to cutting outside songs because I think it is a best song wins situation. If I hear a song that's like, oh my gosh, this is me, I may cut it. But most of the time, I think I've gotten to the headspace of writing songs that are very much me. It's like what I'm feeling. I'm not really worried about like, oh, the radio or any of these other things. It's like, what am I feeling at the time? And is this song going to affect somebody else? I think that's just how my brain has been songwriting lately. And that kind of flipped. Like my mindset kind of flipped when I started working with veterans. And, I get into a room and I'm writing with a veteran, and they're telling me about things that they've went through, and we finish a song in a few hours, and it's like, this is the first time they've ever written a song. And you just realize how lucky that we are, that we get to we can write a song every day. Yeah. And somebody's getting to experience that for the first time, and how much it helps somebody emotionally and mentally get through.
Wait, this is so cool. So you write with veterans?
Yes, yeah.
How many times a week do you write with veterans?
So it's kind of like we would do like little workshops, and we'd go to different VAs, and then during the pandemic, we were doing Zoom classes a lot. And
so like you just talk to veterans, you say, hey, like, what have you been through, or like what do you want to talk about, and then write a song around it? Like how's that work?
So Zoom wise is kind of what a lot of it moved to, but it was really special. I started one of the first like all female veteran class, and so it's like all the ladies get together on Tuesdays, and and they talk about things that they've went through. They get to choose whatever the song's about. It's like, okay, what do you want to talk about?
So they're choosing the ideas, and then you're the one that's putting it into lyrics and melody.
Yeah, rhyming everything, but rhyming their story basically.
That's so cool. So, have you cut, or are you thinking about cutting a song that you've written with veterans?
Well, they're actually, because they actually do like little CDs, and so they sell the CDs at these events, and so it raises money for the organization, and it lets more veterans get to tell their story too. So so it's really special, and I think working with a veteran changed my mindset. Is like, okay, I think it's that perfectionist in you as an artist. You're like, okay, I need to do this, I need to make this perfect. When I'm thinking about my songs, it's like, and then you're like, I write this song, it's like, this is so emotional, this is real, this is something somebody's went through, and it's like, I'm not going to write songs just for myself, it's for everybody. That's what music's about. You're telling me about Alexandra Kay that came in,
good friend of mine. She was on the pod pretty recently. And it's definitely, that's what flipped my mindset, is reaching other people and helping them through a really dark time. I think that's what music's supposed to be for, and so I think my songwriting has changed a lot, because it's not that I'm writing for myself anymore. It's like I'm writing for everybody else. That is so cool. I love that.
Thanks.
That's man, we need more people like you, Hunter Girl.
Oh my gosh, you're crazy.
So, all right, typical day for you, right?
Yes.
This is a part that blows my mind, is when you talk to people outside of Nashville, or outside of just the music industry in general. Like, walk me through a day. Like, are you spending most of your time right now songwriting? Are you spending like your time like making TikToks and Instagram reels and all this YouTube shorts and all this stuff? Are you like doing photo shoots? Like, what's a typical Hunter Girl day?
Oh my gosh. Well, it honestly depends on the day. Like, you know how it is. But I've been traveling a lot lately, playing a lot of shows, which has been so much fun. Getting to play with my band and do that. And so, that's weekend runs. During the week, I'd be writing songs or be in a studio, doing demos, and it's also, you're like, okay, I've got to play the live shows. I've got to write the songs for the EP that I'm going to release soon. And then it's like, also I need to promote everything on social media. And so it's like wearing all the hats in a way.
It just blows my mind. I was talking to another good friend of mine, a guy named Bailey Zimmerman. And we were talking about, like, Bailey's on a roll right now. And he's crushing it. But I'm like, dude, like, you're posting 8 videos a day, and then, like, you're also writing a song, and then you're, like, at rehearsal with your band. How do you have all the time to do this?
Yeah.
It blows my mind. There's, like, way more shit that goes into this than people know,
Yeah, he's super nice. I got to meet him during CMA Fest week at Whiskey Jam.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but yeah, he's super, super nice. And yeah, he's been crushing it, because I'll see it and be like, oh my gosh, it's Bailey again. Right. he's
I know,
everywhere.
He doesn't leave my feed, and I'm like, Bailey, if you ever watch this, I'm like, dude, you gotta chill, man. Like, I scroll for an hour and you're still on my feed.
I was cracking up, because I kept, because like, the trend where it's like something bad happens and then you hear Bailey, that's when I lost it. And I started doing that around the house. Like I dropped like a cup or something, and I was like, that's when I lost it.
That's funny. That's awesome. I'll go check that out after this. That's
God.
Great. Oh man. Yeah. So. Oh man. Okay, so in terms of so like you're marketing, you're doing all this stuff, like you see all these videos, these trends on like TikTok and on YouTube and stuff. Like, again, like, do you feel like you need to have a trend in order for your song to go viral?
I don't know. I need to get better at TikTok and everything. Like I need to be posting more. It's just like figuring out how to do it. It's kind of daunting in a way, and I can't imagine somebody just starting social media right now. Right. Just because like it's like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing in a way? But I don't think necessarily it needs to have like a marketing thing for a song. I think I've seen a lot of videos. It's like just somebody talking about it, because you see the videos. It's like I'm playing this for somebody that scorned me, and they're listening to it for the first time. Right. Or like I can't release this song. Make it, you know.
But aren't we done with that cheesy crap? Yeah. Like, look, I'm victim of it. Like,
yeah, it worked.
It worked, and like the staged videos, like you get it, but like you can kind of read into it. But like, are we as a society and like as consumers of music, are we at the point now where like we're just gonna fall victim to like this cringy little marketing video, or like are we still gonna let the good song win?
I think music's changed so, oh my gosh, drastically in the past few years. And I think we're getting more to good song wins. You know, I've heard a lot of great music lately. And I think that, you know, TikTok has definitely given that that boost to anybody can do it, which I think is such a special thought, and how many people it's probably inspired. It's like, there's like a little girl in her room right now that's 16 and watches a video. It might be her favorite artist, and it's like, oh my gosh, like she posted this video, maybe I could post a video.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely given the opportunity to so many people.
It's inspiring more people to write and become
music.
artists, which therefore I think long term, hopefully we're going to have more music out of it.
More music. I think it's definitely more music. The also scary part of it is more music.
Sure. But that's the thing, right? Like, okay, so you listen to, you know, there's whatever, 1 million songs uploaded on TikTok in a given week. And like, yeah, like 90,000 of them might be terrible songs. But then at the same time, there's also another 5 or 10,000 songs that are, coming out of nowhere and are getting the recognition that they deserve. And so I think people go, oh, like, yeah, is it too saturated? Sure, maybe. And there's a lot of bad songs you got to scroll through. But guess what? When you find the good song, it's like, damn, that person's life changed. It changed for the right reason because they are that good of a songwriter. Yeah. And so I know more people. I know so many people in Nashville that had no career 2 years ago and are now signing to record deals, selling out shows, like doing all this crazy stuff. And it's because they are talented people and they finally found a platform that like rewards it. I think that's a special part about it. I think it's, like whenever you see New Music Friday and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many songs. Yeah. And I think it's kind of daunting whenever you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to release a song. Because you're just like, okay, like, what do I need to do to, get people to see it? And because it's like, I think it's that internal dialogue thing again. Like, will it get lost in the mix? Like, is it good enough? There's so many good songs out there. Is mine even good? Right. And I think the hardest part of all of the good and bad, like, oh, is social media bad or is it good? I think it's your mindset going into it. It's like, what are you using social media for? Are you using it to, promote a song that means something to you and you're trying to help a bunch of people? And it's like, and if it doesn't get 1 million views, are you still going to be happy with your song? Right. I was like, or are you going to think it's a bad song after that? Yeah. It's like, it just, don't let social media change your views on what you think is good. Preach. Yeah. Preach, sister. Yeah, man, can't always look at the data, folks. No, you gotta look at your heart. And what's in here. Okay, so like, you come off the show, right? You're on a hot streak here. Like, you got so many people, that are fans and streaming your music. Like, where do you go? Like, what's next? So I hadn't quit running since I got off the show. You still be running. I'm still be running. I've been working on a lot of new music, which is awesome because I'm working on an EP that'll come out at some point. It's going to come out at some point. Yeah. But I've been playing a lot of shows, which has been incredible, getting to see the people that, supported me over this past year. Like, it's been such a crazy year, and I think social media, we're talking about social media, this was one of the most rewarding things was like being on the show and getting to connect with so many different people. Sure. The song that I have out right now, Redbird, is a song that meant a lot to me. Like, if you ask for my heart on a plate, it's this song. Oh my God, I love this song. And we gotta get a little clip going. Oh here. My gosh, a clippy clip. We got a little clippy clip right here, guys. I'm gonna pull this up to the microphone right now. Look at this. We're gonna get right into the heart of this, okay? Look at this. Just a second. Like, come on. If it ain't too much, could you just give me a sign? Redbird. Right. Do you need a backup singer at all? Oh my gosh, please. I can hit the road with you. But just that song, like, when I first wrote that song, I wrote it from, like, me getting through a really tough time. And when it came for the time for us to cut songs on the show, like, I sent in a bunch of songs. I wrote a lot before I left because I just dropped an EP right before the show, and they chose that one. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, like I write a lot of upbeat, happy songs, and I was like, oh my gosh, like they want me to do this song, and like I wanted to do that song, and just another thing of like how they were really supportive of me and like my vision as an artist, and just getting to sing that song on TV and people hear that song
Right. And, you know, I get so many messages like a day. It's like, hey, like this song, like Redbird got me through a really tough time. Like
that's gotta be so cool hearing
oh
those
my
messages.
gosh. I cry a lot when I look through my messages, but it's just
bring
like,
out
you know,
the tissues. We're going into the Instagram DMs today.
Like, and just for that song to give somebody hope out there, I think that's the special part of television and social media. It's like this song, like songs can be in somebody's mind in a second. You post it, it could be in somebody sees it in Delaware in a minute. And I think social media has a lot more good than, you know, people give it credit for. I think people are always like, oh my gosh, that social media. And it's like, think about how many people you could help in 5 seconds.
Right.
Yeah. It just. Yeah.
Well, it's cool. And it seems like you found the right balance. Like, I think that, you know, so many people I think get scared about social media is because they're also being told what to do from like, you know, a label or a big investor or like, and that's why I asked you about the TV shows, like how much of that was in your control. Mm-hmm. But I think we're actually getting to a point now where social media is equalizing the playing field to a certain extent where like we as artists should be proud and respectful of like our identity and who we are.
Yeah.
And like, if you're not going to have a team, like even no matter the money that they're going to put behind you, if you don't have a team that's going to like let you do that, then where is that fulfillment, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, just interesting. Man, it's good chatting with you. We've been waiting to do this for so long, and I'm like so happy we're finally doing it because I'm proud of you. And like, I know how long you've been in Nashville, right? You've been here 6 years. Like, yeah, you get your break like, you know, a year ago to the point where like now you're a recognizable figure, but like you've been doing this for so long and like you deserve it. And I'm excited to hear this new music. I'm excited to see you on the road.
Thank you.
Again, I'll be your backup singer.
Oh my gosh, fly.
This is awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Crushing it on the podcast. Y'all go check her out. Hunter Girl on all socials. She's got new music coming out. It's going to be great.
Thank you guys.
That was awesome.